Hi, Peter Charles here, and let's talk about camera bags. Specifically having too many bags, too much stuff, everything's disorganized, we can't find what we want, and in the end it just gets frustrating. You know, there's got to be better solutions. So let's solve the camera bag conundrum. Okay, it was simple in the old days. I didn't have a lot of stuff. And I had this Domke F1, which I bought 40 years ago. And it held my entire Pentax 35mm film system. No problem. There was no bag issues back then. I just carried this bag with all my stuff. You know, hurt my shoulder, wore myself out, carried tons of stuff everywhere. But hey, it was all in one spot, easy to organize. And then I got multiple formats. I had medium format, large format, but that was simple too. Each had their own bag. But as time went on and I got rid of all that stuff and got into digital, it was just like they were having babies in the closet when I wasn't looking. There, all of a sudden the bags multiplied, the camera gear multiplied, and I would be out somewhere taking pictures and going, where's that lens? Where's that camera? It's back in the closet. Or I'm carrying way too much stuff. You know how it is? You pick up a camera bag and say, well, you never know, I might need that lens, or I might need that camera, I might need that flash. So you bring it all with you. And by the time the end of the day is, you got one shoulder like this and your back doesn't want to work anymore, and your hips hate you. So there's got to be solutions to this. And I tried. I ended up with something like 8 or 9 bags. Every bag had something in it, and I couldn't remember which bag held what thing, and it was a mess. I tried to get logical and say, okay, let's have a bag for this purpose. This is video accessories bag, and this is the video camera lens bag, and so on and so on and so on. That didn't work either. So what did I finally end up doing? Well, I created 3 categories in my mind. The stuff I use all of the time, the stuff I use occasionally, the stuff I use rarely. And the stuff I use rarely, I got out of the bags and I put them in drawers and shelves. It doesn't matter. I use it once in a blue moon. I'll find it when I need it. Just get it out of the bags. I had something like 8 or 9 bags. And by doing that, I cut down to 4. Now I've only got 4 bags. And that made it a little easier. Then what? How are we going to deal with it? Well, I've still got a lot of stuff. But basically, I can jam it in 2 bags if I have to. And I'm thinking, well, that still doesn't work. I'm still carrying lots of stuff I don't want. Blah, blah, blah. So I boil that down to a generalized purpose. And I say very generalized because I've tried to be specific before. It doesn't work. Because you've got a bag for portraits, but there's a lens in there you need for landscapes, and a camera you need for macro, and it doesn't work. So I try to generalize it to some simple purposes. I've got this beastie here, which is my low pro backpack, and it holds my wildlife stuff, my nature stuff, my macro stuff. It also holds portrait stuff for when I'm doing portraits outside. It's mostly zooms and fast zooms or big zooms, one or the other. Weighs a ton. But when I go, let's say bird photography with this, I got a 150 to 600 in here. I don't take this whole thing with me, no. I take the 150 to 600 out with the camera and leave the rest in the car. Or I might leave some of it at home. I'm at home and I'm taking stuff out that I know I'll never use while I'm out there. And, then I can take this bag with some water, my lunch, and just the 150 to 600, and I can spend all day out taking pictures of birds. So the bottom line is, what's in here is either sitting in the car or sitting at home. And I'm only got with me the stuff I'm actually going to use. So that's one thing. Now, this camera bag is about 30 years old. I gave it to my daughter, and then not long ago she gave it back to me. This is basically street, portrait, landscape, cityscape, that kind of stuff. Again, I don't take all this with me. It weighs a freaking ton, despite it not being a big bag. I don't bring it all with me. So if I go out to do some street photography, I got this little light guy. So I put what I need in this little light guy. This thing stays in the car, in the trunk of the car. And I just bring this. And if it turns out I need something that's in here, I will go back to the car and fish it out and swap things over and go from there. And that's what I do. The car is my repository of equipment. I don't carry it all with me. I only carry what I think I'm going to actually use, not stuff that, oh, maybe if I stand on one leg and it's a Blue Moon Tuesday and, you know, we've had an eclipse, I'll need it. No. I'll only use this, I'll take this only when I really need it all. And the other thing too, is if I want to use this bag for any reason, I'll take a lot of stuff out of it before I leave the house, because I know I won't use it all. So basically what I've done, to wrap this all up, I've taken all the maybe using the Blue Moon stuff and put it in a drawer or a cupboard or a closet, wherever. I got it out of the bags, got rid of the bags. And then I've got this bag, which has now become a storage bag, and it carries all the stuff that I'm not currently using. It's all in here. And it makes it very simple. I will use this on occasion for just cameras and lenses when I need that many cameras and lenses. The rest of the stuff, some of it sits in the car, some of it I'm carrying. I carry as little as possible, but if I need some other stuff, it's in the car. So I've organized it that way, and I've got two general purposes. So I've got basically two bags going. The street, the portrait landscape bag on one side, and the wildlife, macro, flowers, birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees, and the other landscape stuff in the other bag. And that way it gets split, but I can, you know, merge them together if I want to for any reason, and I have done for outdoor portrait shoots. What's in the landscape wildlife bag can end up being an outside portrait gear. So I keep it loose. I don't try to be too religious. Oh, this bag is just for this and this bag is just for that. It's generalized. So bottom line is I've got an empty bag, which is very light to carry minimal stuff. I've got two bags, one for street portrait, the other for nature wildlife, and I've got a storage bag that holds all the other stuff and can be used when I need it. But the bottom line is I've separated out what I need. I carry the minimum amount of stuff. I don't burden myself down with like 3 tons of equipment. And if I need stuff, it's in the car. So it makes life a lot simpler. I travel light. I don't have a bazillion bags, and I know where everything is. And I don't end up out taking photos going, oh, I wish I had this camera, I wish I had this lens, or I wish I had this flash or whatever, and it's at home. You know, I've got what I need with me, I know where everything is. And basically by separating out the almost never use from the occasional use, from the using every day, and then taking the using every day stuff and organizing it, works like a charm. So if you're having problems keeping all your gear straight, this is the way to handle it. Cheers.